Who's that, the British again?
No, the Swedes, Mama and Papa.
It's nice.
They're not welcome.
Oh, of course, they're very welcome. It's just that I wish they'd picked a better time.
What do you mean?
Well, with the new federal highway route about to be decided on...
Oh, the one that will go through Jasperville?
That's just the problem. Now, maybe it will go through your father's town, and maybe it will go through Strindberg. You see, both towns are in my district. Both towns want the highway. And if Jasperville gets it, I don't want anyone to say that it was favoritism on my part.
That's foolishness. My family comes to see me, not to talk about highways. I think it's even funny you think my father should even try to influence you.
Well, I hope you're right. Good morning, Mother.
Morning, darling.
And goodbye. I've got to run.
Have a nice day.
Goodbye, Katy.
Bye, Mr. Morley.
I couldn't help overhearing. When are they coming?
Oh, I've not come to that yet.
What's the matter?
Papa says we're glad to see you, but I come most as represent Independent Citizens Committee to get new road for Jasperville. Town want man who know way around Washington and has big connections. Natural they pick me. Oh, Mrs. Morley, what shall I do? You heard what Mr. Morley said. What shall I tell him?
Well, why not let it come as a nice surprise?
Katy, you know why we are here.
Yeah, Papa.
I represent Independent Citizen Committee for new road through Jasperville.
I know.
It's no small thing.
Oh, it's very big, important thing.
Yeah, we got to have road, and it's up to me to get it.
How, Papa?
How? You just talk to Mr. Morley.
Yeah, well, you have right as citizen.
It is my duty. I represent committee, and also so that Ole Olsen in Strindberg shall not brag on me.
You know how Papa feels about Ole.
Mom, I told you never to say that name.
Ole Olsen?
You said it again. Mom.
They are not friends.
Yeah, I could tell. Papa, one important thing to remember. Because I live in Mr. Morley's house, he's in a very delicate situation.
Delicate situation?
About the road.
Oh.
Since we are friends, it is important you do not ask him for special treatment.
What are special treatment?
Well, favors.
I would not think on such a thing. It's American way to stand strong on own 2 feet.
On own 2 feet, yeah, but not mine.
Well, I'm glad we understand each other, Papa. You will not expect Mr. Morley to show favoritism.
Absolutely none. Just so long as he sees we get new road through Jasperville.
Here, let me explain the situation to you. Since the highway goes through my district, the Department of Interior consults with me on it as a matter of courtesy. However, I will have no actual power to decide which town it will go through. But, given the right set of circumstances, I might conceivably have some influence in the choice.
Yeah, influence?
Given the right set of circumstances. Now, I'm expecting a report tomorrow indicating which town the engineers favor. I may as well tell you that up to now, Strindberg has a slight edge.
Yeah, is what Ole Olsen thinks.
And with good reason, because many of the arguments you advanced for Jasperville apply equally to Strindberg, plus some of their own. And, frankly, I see no real reason why I should interfere.
Not interfere, but influence?
No, Mr. Holstrum. I represent the people of Strindberg just as much as I do those of Jasperville, and I have a real obligation to remain impartial in the best interests of all the people. Now, do you understand?
Yeah, I understand. You could do something, but you won't. Oh, Himmel.
Now, Papa, Mr. Morley has a job to do. He has a big responsibility. He cannot decide everything with influence.
Sure, not everything. This time only. I thought he was friend. Relative almost.
But that would be favoritism.
Yeah, is what I want, a little favoritism.
You're making too much noise. Now it's late. You should be asleep.
Oh, how can I sleep when I can't make Mr. Morley understand? We came all the way from Jasperville. Who pays? Jasperville. Why they pay me? Why they send me?
Because you have a big mouth.
Because I have a big mouth. Mama, all I said was Lars Holstrum get job done. And they say Lars Holstrum like this with congressman.
Papa, you shouldn't have.
How we go back to Jasperville without road? Back to your hometown?
Now, Papa.
Back where Ole Olsen will laugh at me because I am failure, just like he say I be failure? Katy, you must make Mr. Morley to understand.
Papa, Mr. Morley is a very fine man. I work for him. But it is not fair to involve me. I must be neutral.
I know you must be neutral, but on my side, yeah?
Good night. Good night, Mama. Now go to bed. Mr. Morley, something the matter?
No, Katy. I couldn't sleep.
Oh.
You know something? I think this is the first time we've ever met in pajamas.
You know something I don't remember.
You know something I wouldn't forget.
Mr. Morley, you wanted to say something. You went psst.
I went psst.
Yeah, you went psst.
Oh, yes, I did. Well, I'm concerned about your father. I was hoping perhaps you might talk to him about this highway situation.
Mr. Morley, it's very important to him, but it is not fair to ask me to explain. I am neutral, and I will stay neutral.
You're right. I shouldn't have asked you in the first place. But I do want you to know that, as a private citizen off the record, I hope Jasperville gets the highway.
Thank you. I hope so, too.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait.
That's all we can do.
Yeah.
Well, until tomorrow. Katy.
Since I wish to remain neutral, please do not kiss me like that again.
Is that an order, Miss Holstrum?
It's a request, Mr. Morley. Good night.
All finished, Katy.
Very good.
I'm finished too, Katy.
Now, come on, you.
Oh, Katy, it's practically finished. Now I have a study period tomorrow. I can do it then.
You finish your homework now.
And what do I do during study period?
Then you study. Now you do your homework.
Dad, got all my work done.
Good boy, Steve. Would you run along, please? I'd like to have a word with Katy.
Sure.
Is it personal, Dad?
Somewhat, yes.
Good. I mean, then you wouldn't want a little kid around listening in. Would you?
No, I certainly wouldn't.
Good night, everybody.
Danny,
Study period first thing in the morning, Katy, honest.
are you sure you will have enough time to finish your work?
Positive. I'm very vigilant.
I think he means diligent.
No. Well, he can't say it, but he can be it. Danny always finishes his work.
Oh, Katy.
No, what's the trouble?
Well, I just got the report from the engineers.
And?
And? Strindberg.
Oh, Himmel.
I am sorry, Katy.
No, I don't doubt that you're sorry. I'm sorry, too. My father will be even more sorry.
Well, it isn't...
Oh, naturally, I cannot expect you to be concerned that a man has come all these hundreds of miles.
No, that's not...
It can mean nothing to you that these small school children have saved their pennies and dimes to give the money to my father so that he can come here to talk to you.
Oh, no, I think that's...
Oh, no, you will say a congressman cannot be concerned about these things. A congressman cannot take sides. I know you have to represent the people of both towns, but you also have an obligation to remain neutral, which you seem to have forgotten when we were standing in the hallway in our pajamas. Now, you are no longer in your pajamas, so you are better able to live up to your responsibilities to everybody else. Not that your pajamas have anything to do with your policies. And you think I am not neutral, that I think only of my father. Is that not true? Well, let me tell you something. People have to look out for themselves. And I know you will say, I think blood is thicker than water. Your blood is thicker than water, but not as thick as some heads.
Hi.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Very well.
Cool off a little bit?
It's not a matter of cooling off.
Katy, it's not all that serious, you know.
It is serious to the people involved.
But to a neutral?
It is not easy to be neutral when your family is involved.
I understand that. Nobody said it was easy to be neutral.
Mr. Morley, I love my papa.
I know that.
And this is very important to him.
Naturally.
Now, I do have loyalty to you, but I have longer loyalty to him. After all, he is my papa.
I understand. But you seem to be forgetting one thing. I'm not against your father.
I cannot let him down. You leave me no other choice. I must help him get what he wants. It is important to him.
All right.
Well, I will have to go above your head.
Go right ahead. Feel free.
I will go to the highway department.
With my blessing.
And I will make them understand.
I wish you luck.
Don't act so reasonable with me.
What would you have me do?
Help me.
I have already explained my position to you.
And I've explained mine. We are on opposite sides of the fence.
Oh, I didn't know that there was a fence between us. But if that's the way you see it, well then, that's just the way it'll have to be.
That's the way it is.
The highway department is going to tell you exactly one thing.
And what is that?
See your congressman.
Smells good.
Mrs. Morley, do you think it'd do any good for Papa and Katy to go to that government office?
Well, you never know, it might.
Oh, men.
Preserve us.
If they would only leave things to us women, there would never be any fights.
They say we're the emotional ones. They lose their temper over nothing at all.
Yeah, but you used to try to tell them that. Oh, my. I tried to tell Papa he is wrong, but I cannot.
I imagine. He's so determined. I guess it's difficult for him to see both sides of an issue.
You say Papa is unreasonable?
That's not exactly what I said. I believe the word I used was determined.
Yeah, but you meant unreasonable.
Well, if you prefer that word, use it by all means.
And you think it is easy for Congressman Morley to see the other side of the issue?
Yes, I do. Oh, he's younger, of course, but he has had more experience.
After all, what is it that Papa asked that is so unreasonable from a close friend?
That's not the point. But since you bring it up, Mr. Holstrum's request was awkward, to say the least of it.
A small favor is awkward.
Surely you realize it wasn't a small favor. You're asking my son to compromise his ideals.
Do you think your son is the only one who has ideals?
It's beginning to look like it. And I'm extremely proud that he refused to give in to all this pressure.
Pressure? So now we pressure. I suppose we hold a gun to his head. Is that what you claim?
I claim nothing. I merely wish to point out that you came to him. My son wants nothing from you.
Oh, we will remember that at next election time. Congressman Morley does not want anything from us.
We can manage very well without your support, if you want to tie strings to it.
Strings we tie? I suppose next you will say we tied a rope around his neck.
At last I begin to understand why Mr. Holstrum has such a terrible temper.
And I'm beginning to see why your son is so stubborn.
Well, just for the record, I'll ask. What did they say?
They say, see your congressman.
I was afraid they might.
Well, come on, Mama. We pack up and go home. We just try to explain everybody in Jasperville why no road. And we listen to Ole Olson laugh on us.
It's all right, Papa. So he will laugh. But even Ole is more our kind of people than those here in Washington. We go.
You hear, Mama Katy? We go.
But I...
No buts, Katy. I cannot allow my own daughter to stay in house with men who take away our road. Committee would not understand.
Papa?
No papas either. It's time you make stand. You are with us or against us. It's no time for neutral.
All right, I go. I'm sorry, Mrs. Morley.
Is it that serious?
Yeah, it is.
Pressure. Strings. You do not even know how to bake a cake.
I do too know how to bake a cake.
What time are they leaving?
First thing in the morning.
Well, that means before 9 o'clock.
The irony is, of course, that whether you chose either town or neither town, you'd probably lose the same number of votes at the next election. The trouble is, this way, you also lose Katy.
Well, I may be old-fashioned, but the other way, I lose my principles.
You're your father's son.
I wonder how he'd have handled it.
I have a pretty good idea.
Yes?
The senator had a special remedy. He had a large double shot glass that he reserved for just such occasions.
Mrs. Morley, I say such terrible things. I'm a bad person.
No, I'm the bad person. I was awful. I do apologize.
I'm so sorry we fight.
I don't know what got into us. Forgive me.
Forgive me. Oh.
Come, Mama, the meter is running.
Goodbye, Mrs. Holstrum. Goodbye, Katy. And thanks for everything.
Mr. Morley, why must you be neutral?
Katy, it was you who claimed to be neutral. But it's apparent to me that, like so many others, your neutrality lasted only so long as your own interests weren't involved.
Goodbye, Mr. Morley.
Double shot glass is on the shelf behind the bar.
The congressman has a right to his opinion.
He has right, and I have right never to talk to him again.
Yeah, but you have no right to decide for Katy. You put her in the middle.
Katy is big girl. She decides for herself.
But it is not right to be in the middle. Is it, Katy?
No, it isn't. And it is not right for Mr. Morley either. Driver, turn left at the next corner, please.
Mr. Morley, someone to see you from your district.
My what?
Your district in Minnesota.
Oh, show them in, please.
May I sit down?
Please do.
I'm from Minnesota originally, but I live now in Washington. I'm looking for a job.
I see. Have you worked here recently?
Yeah, I had a very good job.
May I ask why you left?
Because I was foolish.
Oh.
I worked for a very good man. I did not realize how truly good he was.
Sounds interesting. What was so good about him?
Oh, many things, but mostly his integrity. A little stubborn, maybe, but definitely integrity.
That's all?
Oh, he was not bad looking for an older man.
Well, what do you do?
I'm a governess.
Well, what an unusual coincidence. It so happens that my governess just left.
Oh, you must be sorry to lose her.
Well, no, not really. She had rather a quick temper. Whereas you look like a very even-tempered person, Miss,
Holstrum.
Yeah, Miss Holstrum. Well, from what you've seen of me so far, do you think that you might be interested in the job?
Yeah, I would be interested.
Good. When can you start?
Right after lunch.
Good. I'm glad you don't harbor any old-fashioned notions about employee-employer relations, because I always take a new governess out to lunch.
Hey, what's all that?
Packages from Minnesota.
Who are they for?
For your grandmother and one for Mr. Morley.
Did I hear someone mention my name?
Oh, here's a present for you. Would you take this to your grandmother?
Sure. Come on, Dan.
And here's a letter for you and one for me.
Oh, I wish your father hadn't done this.
Oh, he felt badly for the way he acted. I'm glad he did. Oh,
What?
Papa's no longer a failure.
Oh?
You know the highway that goes right through Strindberg?
Yes?
It also goes right through Ole Olson's farm. And Papa says all Jasperville agree better to have town with no highway through it than to have farm with highway through it.